but I wasn't recording.
It's okay.
It's probably better you didn't
No
record
one
that.
is in here is talking about your nipples.
Well, you just told them. Now they know.
No.
These people are
No,
smart.
but-
They're gonna
Sorry.
figure
But
out
we
that
just
you were
saying like
talking about that.
I should get like a Mongolian outfit, well, at least for special times, right?
Yeah, but
I
now Outer Mongolian, not the Inner Mongolian one.
Well,
Not
that's
the-
different.
You know, the good one.
The good
That's
one,
that's for the weekends. Only the weekends.
not the
So
adorable
you show
looking
off your
one.
muscles.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, I like it. Shit looks good when I wear it. I'm like, man, this looks nice.
Yeah,
You know?
we don't all have the same physique though.
No, you know what? The Inner Mongolian one reminds me of Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
It
I'll be honest. Like the Inner Mongolian one is more like badass looking.
is badass
Like,
looking.
you know.
Yeah,
so,
right. It looks fierce. Yeah.
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 With the boots.
Do you have any attire that you
Right
make
now?
or?
Oh yes. Well, that's what you clicked on earlier. Bukinain is like our company, our brand right here.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
But
And we
wait,
sell
there's
Chinese
more.
wrestling. See, those are pretty decent nipples. But anyway, we so we have
let me look at our
Yeah, go
story
to it.
shop events.
Just go to
Gallery?
there's a gallery.
There's a gallery.
Oh, okay. I forgot. I didn't do it. No, I don't think we have much up right now.
Oh,
it
women's
might be.
wrestling. Here it is. Here's the missing link. Wow.
Well, that's winter. You see the jacket. These are our like custom jackets. All of this is like handmade, like authentic, real Mongolian wrestling jackets, not the ones you buy in the souvenir shops.
Oh.
So it's like legit.
Oh, I
And then
see.
there's
So they
Chinese
got a
wrestling.
lot of like dollar store Mongolian jackets.
Yeah, we do here too. You could buy them at the
Yeah.
market.
Well, in Mongolia, what annoys me is the ones you can buy at like the market that are like souvenir ones. They charge the same amount as the real ones.
Yeah,
More.
I'd say they're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap. Yeah, same thing here.
But like they're expensive, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
but
they look
you
like
can-
they got to be good quality. It's leather. ain't
Oh
leather
yeah, and
don't
they're
grow on
thick.
trees.
Ours is made from some of the best people. So like ours is thick. Even the Mongolians, when they grab mine, they're like, "Whoa, this is nice," right?
Yeah. And the leather one like that from China or from Inner Mongolia is so much more expensive than like
Yeah.
out here because our outfit, like the whole outfit, boots and everything, might be like $150. You know,
Oh yeah, ours is
just the
probably
jacket's gonna be like
300,
hundreds.
400.
Yeah.
Mhm. So and we
Who's
can do
this?
horse leather too.
Who's this in the model here?
One of my students in Boston.
Is that the
Oh.
Italian guy? No.
No,
So
no.
he's in Boston.
He's
and
a
he found
Sundai
an
guy.
interest for Mongolian wrestling.
Yeah, I was teaching him with Swejiao and then also Bochen. He ended up becoming like one of my best guys, and he has a school called Sundai Fighting Arts. So they just kind of
In the
we just
States?
do it all. Yeah, in Boston.
In Boston. Wow.
He's got some serious skills. He's gonna come to Inner Mongolia with me probably in the summer for a couple months. Get some training in.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other ones are like just random people. Like this is a Swejiao guy from Russia. Some other guy I know that are just from online that ordered a Swejiao jacket.
Oh, and is this like your
Chinese.
logo here? This
Yeah, it says Bokhinain. It means like a wrestler's journey. That's what I think.
Wow, that's amazing.
With the Jangan and also the back symbol that you see in the back of the Chinese wrestling jacket and the Mongolian, that is our symbol as well.
Oh, you know what? In Inner Mongolia, where he lives, they write in Mongolian script.
Yeah.
And out here in Outer Mongolia, we write in Cyrillic. So I can read Cyrillic, but I can't read Mongolian script.
Mhm.
It's also crazy to me because like he goes, "Oh, Bokhinain." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know what that says, but I can't read it."
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting. I mean, that's amazing that you put the time in to read that. Like, I think I'd be an awesome cultural journey, but it's like, when else would I use it? I'd worry. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
you know.
listen, if you're not like down, if you're not trying to be part of the community, there's almost unless it's for fun, like who you really gonna talk to, right?
That's
Not
what's
that
like. I
many
wanted to
people.
visit Mongolia, and I was like asking Antonio, I was like, should I learn Russian? Should I learn Chinese? Should I learn Mongolian? Like, what should I do? You know.
I mean, listen,
As long as you could read Cyrillic, you can get around.
yeah. And a lot of people here speak English. Like where I live, no one speaks
Yeah.
English.
Outer Mongolia, English is so much more common.
Yeah.
And in children now, it's like ridiculous. There's children that are refusing to speak Mongolian. Like
Yeah.
that's a growing trend here. That like kids under like preschool age are refusing to speak Mongolian.
Italian.
That's Italian.
Yeah. But
So-
in Inner Mongolia, everyone speaks Mongolian. Nobody speaks English. It's a hard time for me some days.
Oh, really?
You know, I've been
I'll
there for
bet.
4 years. I've
Wow.
been in the countryside for 3 years. Like, it's not easy. I haven't left. This is the first time I left in 4 years.
How do you get around? Do you drive? Do you have to wait for a camel
Camel.
train or?
Yeah, sometimes the camel. Sometimes I get like a bunch of sheep together and just like put a carpet on top of them, ride that for a while.
See, I have no idea if
No,
you're joking or not.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, I got videos of on the camel too, but no, we just everyone has cars, so
Okay.
everyone just drives everywhere, right? You gotta
Mhm.
understand. To like the capital city, the closest city to me is like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, right? But the closest big city is about 5 hours.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you need a car or a horse. It's
I
just
was asking Antonio, yeah, whether I should like rent a car or whatever. He said get a driver.
Yeah, just get it
yeah, yeah.
here.
But here's
Here's
different.
different. Here's
Here's
different.
different.
Here's different
Yeah.
again. Yeah, no, you wouldn't want to drive here. You just,
No way.
but also you see where I live, man. It's the most convenient place in the universe. You just walk
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
Uh, as far as riding the horse though, would they let just anybody jump on
Yes,
or something
They
like?
don't,
Because I'm
they
in
don't know any
Japan here,
better.
and it drives me nuts because I grew up actually training horses, and I
yeah.
feel like you have to sign so many liability forms, and then you
Listen,
just get to pet
no
it, you
one will.
know? It's
They
like
no,
what?
they would never ask you that here, like or in Inner Mongolia, which sometimes I have to try to tell them. I'm like, well, when more foreigners come, you got to have something because they're gonna get hurt, right? It's bound to happen, and they don't even think about like, oh
You don't
shit,
even think
they
about it.
don't
They
think
don't
about it.
know there's people who don't know how to ride
They
horses.
don't.
Well,
They
not
can't
even ride,
imagine
like
it.
walk behind, like they could get kicked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't realize that people don't. Where I live, they're country people, so they don't know that other people
yeah,
don't know this. They
yeah,
think everyone.
yeah,
They even
yeah,
ask me sometimes, "You're from like I had some couple old people say, "You're from America? What grasslands is that? Like what kind of like what land is that?" And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's different. But
That's on
they
the other side of the Gobi.
yeah they were like, "Oh, I thought you were Mongolian from. I thought like
Yeah,
America was your grasslands, like the lands
yeah.
you're from." I was like, "No, it's a country."
Yeah, like I get here a lot of times people ask me, "Can you ride?" And I go, "Well, I can ride English and Western." I go, "But I'm still learning to ride
Yeah,
Mongolian." And like that just means nothing to them. They're like,
no, it doesn't mean
"Uh-huh."
nothing.
And can you ride?
Yes, I mean,
Oh, so you never
Mm,
rode before? I mean, no, I've ridden my whole life, but it's English and Western. I'm just learning Mongolian, and they don't get it.
yeah, yeah. Same with wrestling. We're in Inner Mongolia. Like if you say you can wrestle, well then they're gonna be like, okay, wrestle this guy, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
instantaneous.
yeah, it's just it is what it is. But no one signs papers. No one thinks about suing or getting in trouble, right? So if you walk up to a Mongolian and say, "Can I ride your horse?" He'll be like, "All right, come on,"
mm.
right? And they'll put you on like a random
Yeah,
horse. That
yeah,
horse is gonna kill you. You're like,
yeah.
it's
Well, that's
quite.
so funny
I used
because
to do it.
yeah, I've tried to put my friends on a horse, right, that are used to
Mm,
me, and like some people are
yeah.
just so stupid they shake and then they put
Right,
the
right.
feet in planks, and I was like,
Yes.
yeah, I broke that horse, and then they're like, they get bucked off, and I was like, I'm
Yep.
sorry, you're just terrible,
Yeah.
but no,
Well, listen.
but usually they have super, so not only make sure it's super broke, like 20-year-old horse, like does not
Hmm.
even trot. Okay,
Yeah.
get on that horse. Okay.
Well, that's what I wish they would do with me. Like, and then I
Really?
get no, I do. I'll be honest with you. Like, I talked to one guy last year, but it was COVID. I was like, he does like the tricks, the horse, like he's like handstands and flipping and stuff. And I was like, hey, teach me how to like really ride because everyone puts me on race horses and they're just trying to kill me. And and I'm trying to explain to him. He's like, well, do you know how to ride? I'm like, well, I don't know how to ride like you guys. It's a big difference,
Yeah,
right?
right, right,
Like
right,
some
right.
of you guys are just jumping on. There's no saddle. You're just grabbing the hair. I'm like, I can't do that
Unbelievable.
shit, right? So, but I'm
There's a
interested in
technique to
that.
it.
There's a technique, yeah. So I was like, teach me that. Like, start me slow. And he was like, okay, but so far, no one has. They can't understand that I don't know that world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Wrestling's the same thing. Wrestling's the same way. They don't understand that you don't know the technique.
yeah,
They don't understand it, because you're constantly saying
yeah,
to them, like, I didn't grow up with you guys or something like that.
yeah. I didn't grow
Mm.
up
Yeah.
doing what you guys do, so
Yeah.
I need a
Also, they
little bit
just don't have
different.
the perspective of many different people, many different backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
hard
that's
to
all it
see
is.
that. It's hard to see
Yeah,
that, like when you don't have the background, like, oh, this person can do this. Yeah, but
They know they don't know economics, you see?
yeah.
You know,
But when
I
every,
just know how to do what I do. Why can't you do what you
when
do?
everyone does it, it's just not even a thought. Not the younger people are starting to realize that, but I'm talking about like the older generation or like the herdsmen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I love it. I kind of like that they treat me that way because they don't treat me different. Now I do
Yeah.
feel bad when I see a 3-year-old on a horse with no saddle and just riding, just racing, and I'm sitting here. I can't even stand on the horse. Like, I can't even sit on it. It's gonna kill me.
In Mongolia, the kids, when a boy is 3, they start riding when
Yeah,
they're 3. And what they do, the way they get on the horse is they grab the mane
yeah,
and they just climb
yes,
up, like even just that climb,
they
like a
just climb
normal
up.
American kid couldn't even
Yeah,
do it. And then they climb up on there and no saddle, and they don't use saddles or anything when they're little.
yeah,
And
Actually, it's better that
because
way. Like I don't
they
use
think
a
it's
saddle
safer. Yeah, they
with a
think
new
it's
horse
safer.
because you can always get off. If shit's
Yes,
going
yeah,
exactly.
bad,
yeah,
you can just slide off. But if you
Exactly.
have a saddle, you get your leg wrapped up, end of your
Yep.
yeah.
world.
Yep.
End your world
Yep.
right
That's how
there.
it is here. Yeah.
So when it's a new
Well,
Yeah.
horse that I'm breaking, never a saddle. So I can always
yes.
Yeah.
bail. You always want to be
Mhm.
Yeah.
able to bail. But so
Well, I see the little kids in Inner Mongolia, like before the knot, like during each Naadam, there's like a horse
Yeah.
racing,
Horse race. Yeah.
and like most of the champions are like 5-year-olds and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like some
mhm.
little kids, and they're a beast. They're just man.
And there's laws now that allegedly the kids have to be like 8 or something, and it's like the kid's not 8.
They don't.
The kid's not 8.
No, nobody cares about that.
Kid like can't even talk yet, and he's winning the horse race.
Well,
True.
well, it is
But the
surprising though. I was worried about even troubled horses. Like sometimes, like I see them be like really like violent around adults, but sometimes
uh
a child can be calming to a
yes,
horse.
yes.
Like sometimes they'll
That's
be
what I
like
noticed.
oh, this is like a little life form. I could crush this,
Yes,
and then
yes,
and it surprised me because I was like, don't get. But some kids are shitheads too. But
yeah.
but even
Some
with,
little-
I was surprised that sometimes the horse will be like realize their own power and they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna chill out.
Yeah,
Well, it's sort of
But
like
it still has to be in a controlled
like
environment.
it's
yeah,
sort of like 90% of the time, if a horse throws you, they only throw you, like they don't attack you. But I saw the other day, there was a video posted here. It was a guy got like he was a jerk and he was
If
harassing the
that happens, it's
camel.
probably because they got
And
some deeply seated
yeah, and that
sons.
camel not only threw him, but like attacked him after he was on the
well,
ground. It's like biting him and kicking him,
because
jumping on him.
when camels
Oh my God.
attack you, they'll just stomp you. They want to stomp you until you stop moving,
Yeah.
right? So like it's a little bit different. But I've seen it. Like I was with these little kids, these little girls, and they were like, "Oh, let's go to the horses." Like, Hangai, you want to jump on one of the horses? I said, okay. And they're
I'm
like, I
sorry,
don't know,
Hungai.
9
I
years old.
see that a lot. What is Hungai? Is that
That's
like
his
a
name.
name for
That's
a
my
foreigner?
Mongolian name. No, that's my Mongolian name. It's
That's
like
his Mongolian name.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Mhm.
right.
So because no one here for 4 years called me my real name, I just start saying Hangai now.
Okay.
But
That's
anyway,
interesting.
so they took me and uh these little girls were just like with the horses, and the horses were so relaxed. It was almost like the horses knew that they were little kids, right? Like they weren't acting crazy at all. The moment I went by the horse, it was not ready for that. It was like, no, 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 no. Who's this? Who's this black guy, right? I was like, well, you're racist too here, right?
Dude,
But
that's funny you said that. I had my friend from Cameroon ride a
mhm.
horse, and my racist ass horse freaked out. Like
I'm
it
telling you,
happens.
it's a thing. It's a
Horses,
real
bro,
thing.
like you look different. I don't know
Yes,
you. They do that. They do
it's a
that.
real thing. I've noticed that in Inner Mongolia. A lot of the animals, they'll
I
look
never
at me,
heard
they're
anybody
like,
else
"What the
But
say
even
that, but
even
I
if
was
you're
like,
not
I
black,
swear
just
to
being a
God.
foreigner, just being a like horses even know you're a foreigner
Yeah.
though. Yeah, that's an issue
Even
here too.
how you smell, if you have a beard.
Yeah.
I used to like Mongolians with like big beards, so I used to have more hair. So they're like, they would just look at me. I could see the animals almost staring at me, like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
Well, that you
You
don't know.
know?
Like, is this a wolf? Is this going to eat
You
me?
don't know what it is.
Yeah, what is it?
And
And you
I
want to
play too
ride
many
me?
I
No,
play too many
sir.
jokes. Listen, I
No, sir.
play too many jokes, so I'm like sitting there like making fun of them, and then I pay the price later. But but it is something true. First, they used to tell me they'd be like, "Oh, my horse doesn't know like black people," and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Right, right,
I was
right,
like,
right. Yeah.
"His skin is almost like
Yeah.
your skin,
Yeah.
right? He
Yeah.
doesn't know
My
what
horse
I know."
doesn't know foreigners. I get
Yeah,
that all the time. My horse doesn't know foreigners.
but then I started
But
to notice
it's
like, oh, they
true.
really
It's freaking
it's true,
true.
it's true. Even the little kids in
There's
Inner
no
Mongolia, they'll be looking at
sensitivity
me.
training for equine. There's no
Yes,
education. They're like, you are
it's
different. But they can
yes,
get
it's
used to
true.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. You just gotta be gentle. So, I mean, even the dogs are like that in Inner Mongolia.
Oh,
But
really?
now they are. But the dogs love me. Let me tell you, I have a whole pack of street dogs that follow me
Do you
everywhere.
have the same dogs there? We got those big, scary Mongolian dogs.
Bunker, yeah, yeah,
Jesus
those are scary.
Christ, they look
They
like
will rip you
bears,
apart.
man. They
They
look
will
like
rip you apart.
bears.
Yeah, they will.
Dude.
Like, so they use them to like fight like wolves off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even I've seen
Oh.
one kill a badger in Mongolia, just ripped it
Oh,
apart.
so they must need dogs for their herds, right? Because
Oh yeah,
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 everyone
yeah,
has
yeah. Everybody
dogs.
has
Everyone
dogs,
has dogs.
and they're these huge, scary Mongolian Mastiff or whatever they are,
Yes.
and they're like they look like bears, and their teeth are like 6 inches long,
Yeah,
and I
they
mean,
call them bunker. That's the
and
thing. I want one.
and they don't name them; they just call them Nochai.
Nochai, Nochai.
Nochai, yeah,
Yeah,
they just call them Nochai. Like they don't even give them names. Like,
is
what's
that
your
like
dog's name?
dog?
Nochai.
Literally like
Dog,
dog.
it
yeah,
is
Dog one, dog
because
two, ugly dog, big
yeah.
Nochai.
dog, small
Not
dog.
even dog one, dog two. It's just Nochai.
Deep
Everything's
dog,
Nochai.
yeah, Nochai.
But the reason why is because in Mongolian culture, you're not supposed to name them a human name,
Right, right, right.
right? But like I have four dogs in Mongolia, and I named my dog a Mongolian name, and they weren't happy about it. I didn't know. Because in America, you name your dog. So my dog's name is Namara. And I said that, and they were like, "Oh my God, you can't do that. You can't call it Mongolian. You can give it an American name." I was like, "It's still a name." I was like, "It's still a name. It doesn't matter, right?" So they keep saying they don't want to say it, so they just say na 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 na. Like they just make up things and noises. But it's cute though.
The weird thing here, a lot of times, almost all the time, the dogs are not free. Like you would think they'd be free to protect the herd, and actually they just keep them chained up. And
Oh,
really, they're just like an early warning system. If anybody comes anywhere near the gear, the dog will just go
in
crazy.
Inner Mongolia, they're
Yeah,
running
but
everywhere.
they're not necessarily running free.
They're running everywhere
Oh.
in Inner Mongolia. In my neighborhood, there's like 1,000 dogs, and they just follow me everywhere, and they keep having more babies and more babies. Because the herdsmen will have a bunch of puppies, and then they just put them in the towns, like for people just give them to random people, and they just keep having them.
Wow.
But that's why I got so many dogs. I kept seeing so many cute puppies, and I couldn't resist.
Well,
And
I
they
think
make
there's a
boots out of them.
movie, a Mongolian movie I saw randomly. It's like The Age of Dog or Night of Dog. Like they believe like the dog is like the last transformation in before you're a human or something like that. But
Really?
I don't know
it
I
was
about
a
never
that.
heard that.
movie. But in the movie, they actually put this guy going around and shooting dogs in the city. They actually had footage of that, and then like it
Wow,
was
I'm
like
not familiar
I'll
with
look it
that at
up,
all.
but
Wait,
it was
what do you
like
mean by shooting dogs?
with a gun,
Whoa,
like
yeah, I
it's like
don't know about that.
they
Don't
had
know.
to there was like a disease or something, and
Oh, yeah, in Inner Mongolia they have that. So actually, this just happened last week when I was there, and they actually took three of my dogs, but the same day I left, because some of the dogs have like this disease, and then all the dogs will get it and just die. One of my dogs died like that. Uh, yeah, that
uh,
is true. That is true.
Speaking of movies, did you see the sumo? Oh my God, it's awesome. There's a mini or a drama
State of
series, Sumo
Dogs.
Sumo
Yeah,
No.
I know something.
Have you seen Sumo No? Sumo,
Oh
the
yeah,
guys
actually
love
yes, I
it.
have. I have seen it.
It's so awesome.
It's a cute movie. It's
I think
interesting.
it's really cute.
I
It's a
saw it a
cute
long
movie.
time
It's
ago
really
though.
cute. This kid he's gonna flunk out of college, and so they go, well, we'll pull some strings and help you pass, but you have to join the sumo team because it's gonna we have to have X number of people or else the sumo team gets cut. So he like this kid who has no interest in sumo, they force him to join sumo. It's run by a girl, and then he falls in love with her. It's just a really cute movie.
It's a Japanese movie?
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds like
yeah,
it.
it's
Sounds like
really
it.
funny though. It's
This
really
is
good.
the movie I was talking about, The State of
Oh
Dogs.
wow, I don't know
It's
that.
like about reincarnation, and it
Oh,
was like
interesting.
really
Never
heavy.
heard of that.
But I
Really?
wonder if you saw it. Yeah, but like it feels like they
Nah,
had an actual clip of a
I don't
guy
know that.
shooting a dog, and it was like really disturbing. And I think
Like real
nobody will
footage.
watch it because of that. Um,
Whoa. I mean, I've seen it in Inner Mongolia, and it's definitely, even a couple months ago, the reason why I have so many dogs, I had to save them. There were these people going around torturing and killing puppies. They killed like 20 or 30 in like a month.
yeah,
And the people doing it were kids or 9-year-old kids.
yeah.
And they recorded this. And actually, the two dogs I was adopting, they killed them the day before I went to get them. And it disgusted me. Like I was really affected. I really love dogs. So then after that, I was like, let me just start taking dogs in. you know?
Yeah,
No, we
yeah.
don't
I
have
think the
anything like
theme
that
of the
here.
movie is supposed to be about reincarnation, but still, they show some really. I mean, I guess if it really happens, you shouldn't blind yourself to it. but it was
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
disturbing to me.
It's disturbing. Yeah, it is. It should be. I mean, I think. See, people want to run away from films like that, but like you should watch that. That's the reality. You know what I mean? Let that affect you, right? Like
Yeah, I
people want to
guess
run
so.
away from
Yeah.
well, because for me, because I live in these places, so I know what it's really like. I see it. I see these dogs literally. When I went outside to take this puppy in, and they literally killed it and plucked out its eyeballs.
Oh,
And I
Jesus
was about to
Christ.
throw up. I literally almost threw up, and I had to like bury these dogs. And that happened every day for a month with different puppies in my neighborhood. Like little, we're talking about small puppies. And then I found that people sent me videos. It wasn't Mongolians. It was Chinese girls that did this. The Mongolians sent me videos of these kids doing this, and was like, we have to stop these kids. And these are little kids that are telling me this. They're like, stop these Chinese kids from killing our dogs. So I had confronted them. Nothing happened. The government didn't do anything. They just said, oh, they hurt your dog. We'll get you a new one,
Yeah.
right? And and that's kind of what happened. So I end up having to like kind of
so
threaten.
Chinese.
I had to like threaten them because they're scared of black people, and so and I did, and
Okay.
I yeah, and then I even had my little Mongolian friends, like 10-year-old, 9-year-old. I was like, go beat them up, report. Let me see it. Beat them up, like put those kids in their place because it's not regular. No people
Yeah.
should go around doing that to puppies, like and not to mention, they might start doing it to humans. I mean, if you saw
Yeah,
the
it's kind of a
videos, actually,
desensitization issue.
yeah. So, but what happened was that I had dogs, and one day they were playing outside, and two went missing, and they were only like 4 months old.
Oh no.
Um, and these kids took the dog, and I ended up finding it, but I found it before they actually threw it in a trash can. But I looked throughout the whole town, and as I'm giving up, I'm walking home, and I see something in the trash can moving. It's like moving, and there's like they threw a bunch of like maybe cow intestines and stuff inside of in the trash can. So it's like inside of the intestines, like it's moving around. And I was like, is that my dog? But I got it. It was okay. And then, that's when I really like it clicked. And even to this day, I'm really fighting for like one of the things I want to do in the future is have like a some I have some people with some land in Inner Mongolia. I want to have like a little shelter, reservation thing where we can bring a bunch of the dogs because there's so many. And I've heard of people doing it, but I don't know. Maybe this is my soft spot, but I need to. I feel like I can't keep watching that happen. Right? Again, Mongolians won't do that to dogs.
Yeah, Mongolians
Okay.
won't do anything horrible to
They
animals.
Mongolians view dogs as like a family.
Uh-huh.
It's very different than Chinese. We
Oh
won't say too
wow.
much about that. We won't say too much about that. But anyway,
Oh, that's a topic I didn't expect to go to, but I'm glad we did.
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, real stuff.
Hmm.
And the journey isn't always about wrestling, man. Like
Yeah.
it's like there's so much things that go on, and
Actually, even slaughtering the animals, right? The way the Muslims do it versus the way the Mongolians do it. That's a big thing because we have Kazakhs that live here,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and the Kazakhs bleed out the animals, and it's considered really cruel in international standards.
Yeah.
Bleed
Mongolians don't do
out,
that.
like
The
from their throat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
Well,
haram.
isn't that the
You're not
quickest way
supposed
to
to
make them
consume.
lose consciousness is to slit their throat and raise
I
them?
don't know
That's how
about
they did it in
that,
the
but
meat plant.
I'm not really sure. I just know that it's haram, like you're not supposed to consume the blood, right?
Yeah.
So they bleed them out, and it's considered an international. Like Germans will come here or whatever, and they complain. They're like, "Oh, there's cruelty to animals in Mongolia," and it's like, no, it's not Mongolian.
So
And
Mongolians don't believe. No, they don't want no drop of blood.
yeah,
No.
yeah, you're not supposed to spill blood. You're
Yeah.
never supposed to spill blood in Mongolia, which is also why they wrestle instead of like sword fighting.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
even in the Genghis Khan
Mongolians
days.
are very weird about blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you
you're
mean.
never supposed
So,
to spill blood.
how do they put down their animals? Do they shoot them? Do they have like a stud that?
They have a couple different ways. One of the ways is they'll make the little hole and literally grab inside and just like there's something that they squeeze. They like squeeze and like snap it, and then the animal
With
just
their
dies instantly.
hands?
But with their hands. Oh, I
They
last year I did they
they
they invited me to because they like eating the testicles, right, of the horses and the cows,
all
and
right.
the
Why
sheep.
waste not whatnot? Okay.
They don't believe in wasting anything. So they invited me during the spring to go and do this with them, but you have to castrate, you have to do it with the cows and the horses with your hands. Like you
Yeah.
literally just you try to reach and you just pull it off with your hands, and like I was out there doing that for hours, and it was intense.
Yeah.
Like we have to wrestle the horse down, an old guy comes and then reaches his hand and he just rips it out, and then we eat it right there. It was great.
Raw? You
Oh
don't
yeah,
stew it
let's
or
just
nothing?
we did it many different ways. You can do it different ways,
I would
right?
opt for the
So
cooking way, but I don't judge.
yeah, to be honest, it did none of it really bothered me.
Isn't it
Would
just
I
really
order
tough?
it? It's tough.
It's tough,
We
right?
got
Tough.
right by my house in Ulaanbaatar.
No, not
There's a
for
Burger King.
sanitary issues. I don't. I just think it would be hard to digest, hard to eat.
No, let me tell you, and the way that they gave it to me, it was just like there. Like they didn't do nothing to it. There's no sauce or season or it just looks like it's a testicle, right? It's like ripped out of someone's body, and they're giving it to me. And I was just like, oh, but they're recording this for a documentary, so I couldn't like make a face, so I had to just straight up swallow it. And I mean, we're talking this big, right? So I had to suck it up. But then they were like, oh, he really likes it. So then they gave me like four more.
Just nuts every day for Lavelle.
Oh, it was so intense. So
It
my
was like,
my ex
well, we were
my
gonna
ex
give you
girlfriend's
steak,
Mongol
but since you
my
like, yeah, go ahead.
listen, my ex girlfriend, she likes it. She's Mongolian, so she was like, I was like, yo, when the camera's not looking, I was like, take it, take it, take it. It's too tough, right? But I mean, I appreciate all that. I'll try all the stuff from Mongolian culture. Like I eat everything. Like I used to never eat fat in America. Americans, we don't really like too much like this pure fat, right?
I eat
Okay.
all the fat. I eat
Now I
all the
do.
fat. That's a
Now I
big
do.
thing for me.
Right?
Fat's a huge thing. I eat tons of fat, but I make chicharrone a lot too. Like I'll just cut all the fat off the like on the fry it until it's crispy.
Well, they taste good.
Yeah,
But like when
it's just
and you
fat.
seen it when they like just they suck it down.
Yeah, yeah.
I tried it a couple. They were recording it something for TikTok, and they tried to make me do it, and I almost choked to death on camera.
So I'm sorry. So who is
It
this
was
they,
embarrassing.
and what is this documentary that you were talking about?
So that was a different one. So right now, so there's a famous director in China. He's actually Mongolian. He's got a lot of awards for different films. He wants to kind of like highlight his culture, so he's doing a documentary on Mongol Bull. And we started already last year, but
What's it
COVID
called?
stopped a lot of stuff.
Oh, so it's
Well,
filming now.
it's filming now.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna start filming next month. We only did a little bit so far, but COVID we couldn't. And so they heard my story and they were like, yo, we want to use you as one of the main storylines. We're gonna follow a few different top wrestlers, and then we want your story because right now me and my teacher are trying to make a like official curriculum to teach Westerners. And to start teaching, we're the first ones to teach like Inner Mongolian book to the outside world. So they want to follow that journey and me getting a Janga and all that good stuff. So we're gonna start, and we'll be coming to Mongolia, Xinjiang, uh, all over Inner Mongolia, and even maybe overseas to wrestle. We'll highlight the 5 wrestling styles of Mongolian. Like they're gonna make me do all of it and kind of like show that to people, right? So it's gonna be legit. That's also why I have to get back to China to start recording.
I see.
Hmm
What brings you to this part of Mongolia? Oh, actual
Visa,
Mongolia.
visa.
Oh,
I have
visa
to.
issues. Yeah, that's right. You said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. China, China's very strict with that, so it's the closest place. And I figured if I did get stuck here, there's some wrestling and gyms and
There's
Mm.
some wrestling here.
yeah,
There's some wrestling.
I'm saying like,
You
I could
know,
have if I went to Hong Kong. Oh my gosh, there's nothing there.
yeah. Hong
You
Kong's
know,
nothing there.
That's so
so
interesting because most people would be like, "Oh, if I'm not in the city, what would I do?"
yeah.
So you're
Listen,
like the
people,
exact
people,
opposite. Like, what? I'm gonna get stuck
dude,
in the
no way.
city?
Well, I lived in New York, so like I'm used to the city life, but like city people will come to visit, like, oh, we want to see an authentic experience. Can we come to where you live? I say, okay. And they never last 3 days.
Yeah.
They're like, I need Starbucks, I need this. And I'm like,
I have people coming over here. They're like, "Oh, I want an authentic experience," and then they complain that like the teacher doesn't have email, it doesn't speak
yeah.
English. I'm like, "Well, that's not authentic."
The only thing I
Authentic
tell people is,
experience like a Disneyland experience. Like you sit in the
yeah,
coaster, you see
Yeah,
some
that's what they
you want a
want.
crocodiles,
tourist.
and then the
Yeah.
robot shows up, and then you get
Yes,
you get some stickers to give your kids
yes.
later. That's
I
authentic
tell them,
experience for most people. Yeah.
listen, come to where I live and we're out in Nottingham, you're using the bathroom outside in front of thousands of people.
That's not how you said it to me. You said you're pooping in a hole.
Oh no, there's there's no holes unless you're at someone's ranch.
Yeah, there's not even a hole,
People
dude.
are
There's
like,
not even
I
a
wish
hole.
I could get me a hole.
Yeah, rich people have holes.
What are you
You got a
talking
hole,
about? I ain't got no
you got a
hole. Hey,
legit
this
bathroom.
fool's got a
Listen,
hole.
but you know what? You realize how like I don't know. It's not even a big deal to me anymore. I see it every day. You're like, okay, there's a girl right there using the bathroom. Just don't look. Don't be a pervert, right? It's like
Oh,
not. But when foreigners,
girls got a pop and
oh,
squat too, huh?
everyone,
Wow.
everyone, like
Yeah, well, humans.
yeah, humans,
Really? All humans
you know.
pee. Uh,
But I won't lie. When I first moved out there,
I
no, not
top
even
and
moved. I
side.
was visiting. Yeah, when I was first visiting out there in the countryside, my teacher was like, "We're gonna go to different nadams." Now, I didn't prepare for what he meant, right? So he takes me for 1 week or 2 weeks to different places each day, but we never go back home. And I'm Western, but I'm also, I'm half black, so like I gotta wash my hair. There's a lot I have to do to keep up. There
Hmm.
was no showers for 2 weeks. There was no bathroom, even at the little hotel. We use the bathroom outside at night. There's like little rats running around our feet. Like it creeped me out because it's my first time. So I'm like, holy shit. I was really but then I started laughing. He thought it was funny. He was like, "Oh, you Americans, you're not used to this?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no. We don't do this." But I never complained, and that's why they like me. They say, "Hunga, you bring other foreigners, but you're like a Mongolian. Like you never say anything. You just do it, right? Because it's their culture. I decided to be here. Why would
Right.
I complain about no Starbucks and no bathroom and no showers? Like now,
Right, like I'll tell you one thing: when you're out on the steps, right, and like so most people, if they're going to be there for a while, they do dig a hole,
yeah, 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 yeah,
but they don't build like a proper outhouse,
Well, that's
right?
like a sign of wealth, right? Oh, you shit in a
So
hole.
so when you get
Let's
there,
talk to
and
John
if
over
you're
here.
from
He's
the
got a hole and
if you're
shit
from
in.
America, you're from the South, you're used to seeing an outhouse, and you go, there's no outhouse, but then you go to use the hole, and you realize, oh, because there's no outhouse, there's also no smell.
yes, yes,
Doesn't smell
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
And then it
Oh,
hits you. It's
it
like how
just.
ridiculous to build the outhouse because it
yes.
makes it smell bad.
We
Like there's nothing wrong with it. After you get used
yes.
to it, there's just nothing wrong with
At
it.
People's Ranch, we have that, but like when you're
Yeah,
in the Nadim
yeah.
and stuff, there's none of that.
Oh yeah,
They might have like if it's a nice Nadim, they might put like a
porta potty.
porta potty. They put like a yeah, some of them in the bigger towns.
Yeah, the big
They
town.
might put cloth.
Well, it's like a
Maybe
plastic, like a piece of
yes,
plastic. Yeah,
you know.
but it only goes up to your
Yes,
chest. It only goes
yes.
up to your
For
chest.
the women, like if there's a big Nadim and there's a bunch of women, like they're not gonna let that,
Yeah,
But
because they're wearing nice dresses and stuff.
yeah, 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 yeah. So and yeah, I
Oh.
love it. I love it, man. I love it. I'm gonna be out there the rest of my
It
life.
is it is hilarious. It reminds me of like ancient Rome because when you go to a big nadam in the middle of nowhere and there's like 2,000 people and there's no toilet and it's like there's no toilet.
It's interesting when you man, one day you have to visit when you're driving out there and out of nowhere, just land, right? And out of nowhere you just see a bunch of cars
Just a bunch of cars in
and
a
a bunch of
circle.
people
People and horses.
out of nowhere.
Yes.
And then you just
Yes.
then you just wrestle and
Yeah.
everyone's having a good time.
And the insane thing about a nadam, when it ends, everything just goes away. It
I
just
can't understand it.
disappears.
I can't understand it.
It's the weirdest thing.
The moment the wrestler's like right when the last person falls, everyone just disappears.
Yeah, the whole thing is gone. It's like, did I dream this?
No one like stays around and like looks
Yeah,
at like
yeah,
congratulations. It's just like everyone
yeah.
goes home. If they even think that this wrestler's gonna win, they're like, oh, he's gonna win. Let's go. Everyone goes.
They don't want to see the championship. They're
They're
like,
gone. They're
Yeah.
gone.
The funny thing, and there's nobody there like selling ice cream or something like.
I'm like, oh, this was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they
we
get
had the
smart.
bigger one here, but when I was in the smaller town, not up like there was nothing to
Yeah,
drink or eat.
they
they
don't.
don't
They
they
don't
don't
set up
drink
like a
so
food
weird.
truck or something.
Oh, we
They
have
do in the
we
bigger
have that.
ones,
We
bigger
have we
ones.
have that even in the smaller ones. But at the same time, that does get me. Like I always say, Mongolians are like camels. Like they don't need to drink that much water.
Yeah,
And they always tell me, you're Western. You need to bring water because
yeah, yeah.
they will wrestle. We'll go out
Go
there.
wrestle all day and
Yeah,
like not drink
you
it.
drive at 5:30, get there around 7, maybe 8 o'clock, maybe later if it's close. We wrestle to the almost at nighttime, and it's the sun. There's no shade.
Yeah,
It's not like burning. Listen. I never been. I grew up in South Carolina. Never been burnt in my life. I get burned here every summer.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
summer.
yeah,
And no one drinks water.
yeah.
I bring water. They see it, and it's gone within 2 seconds because
Yeah.
they just grab your water.
They just take
Right?
your water, man. It's the most hilarious thing. Just pick up your water and walk off with it.
Yep.
That's the other
Yep.
insane thing. They
What do
won't
you mean?
even
What they
drink it and
take
hand
your
it back.
water?
They just walk
You
off
have
with it.
water for you, and they drink it, or
Yeah.
they.
Well,
Yeah.
because
That's the culture.
it's culture. It's like
Just
you just share. Like
like whatever you got, they'll just pick it up and walk away with it.
it is funny
They're
though.
like,
I always make fun of them. I
no,
was like,
I
you're gonna
need
drink my
this.
water.
I'm not like you. I need this, or I
Yeah.
will die. Can I please keep my
Yes.
water?
Yeah,
Thank
because a
you.
few times I
This
almost
one
passed
time, make
out.
an
Like
exception.
No, I got smart. So I bring a bunch of different water bottles and then I hide them in my
That's what I
pants in
keep
the
them in my
car,
bag.
You
right?
gotta hide them.
I
What
have to
about a
hide it.
camelback? You can hide a camelback underneath your outfit.
They got so smart now. Where the wrestlers know I always have water and I always have tape, right?
Oh.
So they know that. So even when I leave the car, they'll like open the car door, like random wrestlers, and just go in my bag and get my tape. They just don't care. It's pretty funny, but it's I can't get mad because it's their culture.
It's their
Like
culture. It's the
I
way
think
it
it's
is.
cute. I think it's funny. I'm like, oh, this is cute. You know, they're drinking my water. I'm gonna dehydrate and die today.
And they lose their stuff, man. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
They lose all their stuff. They can't keep up with their stuff. It's unbelievable.
Well,
But that, I guess, is why I lost a thing, and I'll take
it's not
your
a big
thing, and
deal.
you'll find my thing, and
Yes. But I kind of like that though. I like that idea of just like it's nothing's that serious. Like even in
yeah,
the West, it's like that's mine, right? Like they don't even think like that. Like, okay, I told them the other day. I had a guy that came to my house and he was sitting on my. I didn't really know them. They just came over because they saw me working out, and they were like, "Oh, let's help you carry your kettlebells upstairs." I said, "Okay." They end up staying for like 5 hours.
They're
And
still
they
they
ate
don't pay
everything.
rent, but they're
No,
cool.
no.
They're
They
still
ended
there.
up eating. They ate everything in my apartment, like everything. Like we bought all this new food, and they just destroyed all of it. And no one asked; they just take it and start eating it. And then the guy's like, he's a big Mongolian. He ends up breaking my chair because he's like rocking, leaning on it. So I'm watching him, and I'm like, he's gonna break the chair. He breaks the chair, and then he looks at it like it's the chair's fault, and he was like, "Oh, your chair broke. Like your chair just broke itself, right?" He doesn't say sorry. He's
And they
like,
came in your house with dirty boots and
"Yes,
didn't take their
oh
boots
yeah,
off.
yeah." They always
That's
say
the other
that.
because here in Ulaanbaatar, right? You immediately take your boots
Yeah,
off
yeah,
when you
yeah.
go in somebody's house, but in traditional culture, you don't because the floor is dirt.
Because no, yeah, normally you're in the good, so
Yeah,
you're not gonna take your really boots off like that. So yeah, they'll just walk in your house. Like there's always like some type of horse shit or cow in my house. I have to sweep that quite often.
it's pretty funny. Yeah,
It's funny when I tell this story, but to be honest, it's like now.
yeah.
If I don't have it, I'm kind of like, man, I miss that guy that lays in my bed with like shit on his shoes,
Yeah,
right?
that's the other thing. If they come in your house, they come in your house, they'll just lay in your bed. Like they
Oh,
don't
that's
think
so
anything of it. They'll
sweet.
just lay in your bed.
When I first moved to the countryside, they would because they do that at their in the countryside, they just kind of like lay and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they would come over and they were just like, you know, they have their boots on with like shit on
yeah,
it. They
yeah.
just came back from the ranch and they're just like laying on your couch and laying on the couch, right? And I would sit there and I'd be having anxiety because I grew up
That
also
sounds
in
like the
Germany. My
old
mom's
Dave
German.
Chappelle Rick James shit skit.
Dude, it's but you know what? After a while, it's kind of cute because it's like you can't take it serious,
Yeah.
right? You can't get mad about it. And I think I love that about the Mongolians. You can't they kind of make life seem so simple
So
and, you know,
part of my theory is that because they always live in a one-room house, the
yeah,
whole family lives in one room.
yeah,
And so if you were very involved in other people's business, it would be unlivable.
yes,
So you just can't, you just pretend not to see anything. So a
yep,
lot of people think Mongolians are not helpful or they're not friendly because they don't run over to help you, but it's because they're